It's February 14th, 2014. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And this is the Fortean Slip News.
From foxnews.com, a sinkhole opens at the National Corvette Museum and swallows cars.
Sinkhole de Mayo. I knew a girl named Corvette that swallowed things at it. Never mind.
A massive sinkhole that opened under a Kentucky museum Wednesday morning swallowed several vintage and rare Corvettes. The National Corvette Museum
Lando
said
Calrissian was heard saying, "Shoot higher, shoot higher."
The National Corvette Museum said the Bowling Green Fire Department estimates the sinkhole to be around 25 to 30 feet deep and 40 feet wide. This is going to be an interesting situation, Museum Executive Director Wendell Strode told the Bowling Green Daily News, noting that a structural engineer is at the Bowling Green facility to evaluate the damage inside its Skydome section. 6 of the cars in the sinkhole are owned by the museum. 2 of the others are owned by General Motors. It is with heavy hearts that we report that 8 Corvettes were affected by this incident, the museum said in a press release. The museum said the cars are a 1993 ZR1 Spider, a 2009 ZR1 Blue Devil
But
on
more
loan from General
importantly,
Motors.
was there a hell at the bottom of the hole? Or some facsimile thereof?
A 1962 black Corvette, a 1984 PPG pace car, a 1992 white 1 millionth Corvette, a 1993 ruby red 40th anniversary Corvette, a 2001 Mallet Hammer Z06 Corvette, and a 2009 white 1.5 millionth Corvette. Strode told the Courier-Journal that emergency personnel allowed museum staff to remove the only surviving 1983 Corvette, which was at risk of joining the other cars in the sinkhole.
In other
And
news,
one intergalactic bounty hunter.
in other news, a man by the name of Lucifer was seen posting all kinds of Corvettes on Craigslist.
Before we do anything like remove the other cars, we want that assessment so we know if there's been any structural damage to the Skydome, Strode told the Courier-Journal. The museum is closed. An estimate of the cost of damage was done to the vehicles, and the museum has not yet determined what it was.
Did you say the museum's now closed?
The museum was closed.
No shit.
Mm-hmm. No injuries were reported, and the Bowling Green City spokesperson Kim Lancaster told the Associated Press that this appears to be the first incident of its kind at this property. And the world's largest solar panel started creating electricity today. This is from Gizmodo.com. Take 300,000 computer-controlled mirrors, each 7 feet high and 10 feet wide. Control them with computers to focus the sun's light to the top of 459-foot towers, where water is turned into steam to power turbines.
And
Bingo!
you can make the greatest cup of coffee you've ever had in your life.
You can generate enough power for one alarm clock.
Starbucks is opening up right there at the fucking power plant.
Bingo! You have the world's largest solar power plant, the Ivanpah Solar Electric Generating System. Long mired by regulatory issues and legal tangles, the enormous solar plant jointly owned by NRG Energy, British Source Energy, and Google opened for business yesterday. The Ivanpah Solar Electric Generating System is now operational and delivering solar electricity to California customers. At full capacity, the facility's trio of 450-foot high towers produces a gross total of 392 megawatts of solar power, enough electricity to provide 140,000 California homes with clean energy and avoid 400,000 metric tons of carbon dioxide per year, equal to removing 72,000 vehicles off the road. Sprawling across a staggering 5 square miles of federal land near the California-Nevada border, and this is from the story, not me, It looks goddamn beautiful.
And it's a great place to check your hair.
And from TheVerge.com, construction workers unearth mammoth tusk in a Seattle neighborhood. Construction workers in Seattle's South Lake Union area managed to unearth the tusk of a mammoth earlier this week. Experts at the Burke Museum at the University of Washington
Or an
believe
ancient massive dildo.
Believe the tusk originated from a Columbia mammoth from approximately 16,000 years ago.
That would really give Easter Island a new look, wouldn't it?
And it may be the largest tusk ever found in the region. The massive fossil was found while workers were digging out the foundation for an apartment complex in a Seattle neighborhood. Executive Museum Director Julie Stein told NPR that paleontologists and graduate students are currently in the process of carefully excavating the tusk, which will eventually go on display. However, unlike the remains and blood of the woolly mammoth discovered in Russia last May, it doesn't seem likely that the rest of the mammoth will survive the excavation. And in our final story, and of course my personal favorite.
At all.
Pretty sure it was already dead.
Yeah.
From segment.com, sex with robots is here. Well, the happy endings anyway. It seems just like yesterday that technocrats were all aflutter over MIM, the female HRP-4C robot, unveiled in 2009 by Japan's National Institute of Advanced Industrial Science and Technology.
Those Japanese like their robots to fuck.
She could move around, make facial expressions, converse in a rudimentary way with speech recognition software, and even carry a pretty decent tune. Well, move over, Mim. Make room for something, well, a bit more giving. Oculus VR, a virtual reality game manufacturer, and Tenga, fabricator of lifelike marital aids, debuted the VR Tenga at a Tokyo gaming convention that will allow humans to finally have meaningless sex with robots.
Finally, the day has come.
The mechanics, a Novant Falcon controller, grips a Tenga masturbator that handles all the ups and downs for its human owner, while the Oculus goggles provide a virtual stimulation of sex with manga-eyed cartoon.
There's already like 3 nerds that have pre-ejaculated since you started reading this story. And they're all right here right now.
It seems the average observer is both surprised to see such a development so soon and has quickly warmed up to the idea. According to the results of a Huffington Post YouGov poll
I'm
released a
sorry,
year ago,
but like, how much money in MIT students does it take to jack off? You know?
According to the results of a Huffington Post YouGov poll released nearly a year ago, just 18% of 1,000 readers surveyed thought sexual relations with robots would even be possible by 2030. Just 9% said they'd give it a try, and 42% thought that someone in a committed relationship would be cheating if they had a little robot nookie on the side. Then, upon the announcement of VR Tenga's debut in November, Huffington Post took another quick poll and found that 48% of respondents would give VR Tenga a try. 21% wouldn't, and more than 32% would be afraid of malfunction.
And 100% of the guys that use it would shut off the virtual reality, put on like Mario Brothers, and still stick the thing on their dick.
So, like, if you had sex with Vicky, the robot from Small Wonder, would that make you a pedophile?
Yes.
Just checking.
Yes.
All right, fellas,
Yes,
that is the news. That is the news, but I thought a little robo-sex would be great for Valentine's Day. So.
Did you?
All right, well, yeah. That's why I read the story.
You fucking piece of shit. I gave you that story.
But, yeah, well, you thought it would be good for Valentine's Day, too, then. See? I'm not taking credit for the story. I'm just taking credit for reading it.
Robot fucking is always good on Valentine's Day because every woman wants to know that there is now a machine that can replace her.
Well,
Women
they've
have had, you know,
yeah, they've had them
robot
for a
sex for
while.
years.
Yeah, they have that thing that they attach to the thing, and it does the thing.
And, like, anytime guys try it, you end up calling, like, the fire department or something.
Yeah.
IMSA.
You ever stick it in a vacuum hose? I mean, I've heard horror stories. Not that I've tried.
Oh, I was waiting for the story.
No, it wasn't my horror story. I've just heard horror stories from other people.
Yeah, sure. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, this has been your Valentine's Day edition of the Fortean Slip News.
I think I agree with the people who think that it would, malfunction.